Learn English to Gujarati Media Vocabulary, Discourse 2.
सहमति निर्माण.
Welcome to the news circus. Hey, you're about to learn some seriously smart English and Gujarati words without falling asleep on your dictionary. Yes, that is a promise and also a bold act of optimism. Imagine you walk into a television studio. One person is having a deep
चर्चा.
about society, another is explaining the grand
वर्णन.
of the nation, and a third person is fighting for,
व्याख्यात्मक सत्ता.
as if meaning itself were a wrestling belt. Meanwhile, the producer yells, check the
फ्रेमिंग.
do some,
एजेंडा नक्की करवू.
avoid a.
विवाद.
Of course, 5 seconds later, there is already a,
विवादास्पद चर्चा.
and the only adult in the room is trying.
सहमति निर्माण.
Congratulations. You have entered today's vocabulary jungle. Your word mission today. You do not need to memorize everything at once. Just listen, laugh a little, and let the words stick. Word 1. Discourse is.
चर्चा.
Think of a serious discussion, not just random chatter about whose tea is best. Though honestly, that can also become.
चर्चा.
Word 2. Narrative is.
वर्णन.
This is the storyline, the telling, the version of events. Every uncle at a family dinner has a personal
वर्णन.
of what really happened in 1998. Word 3. Interpretive authority is.
व्याख्यात्मक सत्ता.
In simple terms, who gets to say, no, this is what it means. Word 4. Framing is.
फ्रेमिंग.
It is how something is presented. Same facts, different.
फ्रेमिंग.
Very different reaction. Word 5. Agenda setting is.
एजेंडा नक्की करवू.
This means deciding what people focus on first. Word 6. Controversy is.
विवाद.
When a topic enters the room and peace quietly leaves through the back door, that is.
विवाद.
Word 7. Polemic is.
विवादास्पद चर्चा.
This is not a calm cup of tea discussion. This is sharp, charged, and often dramatic. Word 8. Consensus building is.
सहमति निर्माण.
This is the noble art of getting humans to agree on something without anyone flipping a table. Mini story from a chaotic studio. Now listen to the words inside one funny story. This helps your brain remember them as a team. At Channel Mango News, the morning began with a polite
चर्चा.
about local elections. Then the anchor announced a heroic
वर्णन.
of the city's future, complete with dramatic eyebrows. A legal expert immediately claimed,
व्याख्यात्मक सत्ता.
saying only she could correctly explain the Constitution. A producer changed the headline
फ्रेमिंग.
from budget update to wallet apocalypse, and suddenly everyone cared. That, dear listener, is
एजेंडा नक्की करवू.
in action. Within minutes, social media exploded into.
विवाद.
A guest stood up, waved a finger, and launched a full
विवादास्पद चर्चा.
about history, economics, and apparently the moral meaning of breakfast. Finally, the oldest editor entered with tea and said, friends, let us attempt.
सहमति निर्माण.
Before the microphone catches fire. Quick meaning drill. Let us make the meanings extra clear. Short, simple, and very repeatable. Public discourse shapes democracy. In Gujarati, discourse is.
चर्चा.
A strong narrative keeps people listening. In Gujarati, narrative is.
वर्णन.
Courts, experts, or media may compete for interpretive authority. In Gujarati, that is.
व्याख्यात्मक सत्ता.
Framing changes how a message feels. In Gujarati, framing is.
फ्रेमिंग.
Agenda setting decides which issue gets attention. In Gujarati, that is.
एजेंडा नक्की करवू.
A controversy creates public disagreement. In Gujarati, controversy is.
विवाद.
A polemic is a sharp, controversial debate. In Gujarati, polemic is.
विवादास्पद चर्चा.
Consensus building means creating agreement step by step. In Gujarati, that is.
सहमति निर्माण.
Funny dialogue practice. Here is a playful dialogue. Read it aloud or shadow it like an actor with excellent pronunciation and questionable life choices. A. Why are the guests still talking after the show ended? B. Because the
चर्चा
escaped the studio and is now living in the hallway. A. Why does that politician repeat the same story? B. Because the
वर्णन
is more polished than his shoes. A. Who decides what the law really means? B. Whoever holds.
व्याख्यात्मक सत्ता
Or at least whoever speaks with the most confidence and the biggest folder. A. Why did the headline upset everyone? B. Because the
फ्रेमिंग
turned a puddle into a tsunami. A. Why is everybody discussing one tiny issue? B. Because somebody did brilliant.
एजेंडा नक्की करवू
A. Is this just debate? B. No, now it is.
विवाद
People have started typing in all caps. A. And now? B. Now it is a full.
विवादास्पद चर्चा
Even the moderator looks tired. A. Can this meeting still be saved? B. Yes, with tea, patience, and a little.
सहमति निर्माण
Speak and repeat. Now it is your turn. Repeat after each English word and Gujarati word pair. Go slowly and enjoy the rhythm. Discourse.
चर्चा
Narrative.
वर्णन
Interpretive authority.
व्याख्यात्मक सत्ता
Framing.
फ्रेमिंग
Agenda setting.
एजेंडा नक्की करवू
Controversy.
विवाद
Polemic.
विवादास्पद चर्चा
Consensus building.
सहमति निर्माण
Tiny quiz, big drama. Let us see what stayed in your brain. No pressure. Okay, maybe a tiny dramatic pressure. What is the Gujarati word for discourse?
चर्चा
What is the Gujarati word for narrative?
वर्णन
How do you say interpretive authority in Gujarati?
व्याख्यात्मक सत्ता
How do you say framing in Gujarati?
फ्रेमिंग
What is agenda setting in Gujarati?
एजेंडा नक्की करवू
What is the Gujarati word for controversy?
विवाद
How do you say polemic in Gujarati?
विवादास्पद चर्चा
What is consensus building in Gujarati?
सहमति निर्माण
Real life learning tip. Here is a smart trick. Connect these words to news, films, and conversations you already hear. When you watch the news, ask yourself, what is the main?
चर्चा
What
वर्णन
is being pushed? Who claims?
व्याख्यात्मक सत्ता
What kind of
फ्रेमिंग
is being used? Is the channel doing?
एजेंडा नक्की करवू
Has the issue become a
विवाद
or even a?
विवादास्पद चर्चा
And finally, is anyone trying?
सहमति निर्माण
Or are they all just auditioning for the role of loudest person alive? Friendly conclusion. Nice work. You just handled advanced vocabulary like a calm scholar in a room full of panicking panelists. Today you practiced discourse as,
चर्चा
narrative as,
वर्णन
interpretive authority as,
व्याख्यात्मक सत्ता
framing as,
फ्रेमिंग
agenda setting as,
एजेंडा नक्की करवू
controversy as,
विवाद
polemic as,
विवादास्पद चर्चा
and consensus building as.
सहमति निर्माण
Thank you for learning with me. Keep practicing, repeat the words out loud, and use them the next time you read an article, watch a debate, or bravely survive a family discussion that becomes unexpectedly philosophical.